to another live stream. I am not sure what we're gonna do today. I am thinking that I like, I don't know what, I think I like threw this pot on the wheel, and I think I realized it was going to be too big or something for a mug, and so I like poked a hole in the bottom for it to be like a planter. I don't know. I feel like that hole is probably too small. I don't know a ton about planters, but we don't have like the little like catching plate that would go with it. So if you just put this like on your bookshelf, and the water seep down, it would just go onto your bookshelf. So we don't want that. We want like a little catching plate for it. So I think we'll work on that. This is going to be a little bit of a challenge because this is a different size from like this piece has been bisque fired. So it is roughly like, well, not like in like a percentage way, but it shrunk 2 times. Not 2 times the size, but like there are like 2 separate stages where it shrunk. So like you have your wet clay, and then you dry it to bone dry, and that should be a little bit of a different size. And then because this was bisqued, it has shrunk a second time. So I think we're just gonna like kind of guess what size this should be. Let me like grab an actual planter that I have. Just so I can kind of like take a look at it to see, like, I don't know, just kind of like, I haven't really, I think I've made like one planter before. Here's my plant. Sorry, you can't really like see it. This is my plant. So, I don't know. I guess like this one just like lines up really perfectly. We're not gonna get perfect, but I don't know how long we'll be able to work on this for today, but that's kind of like one of the projects that I have been meaning to do, because we did all of the glazing, and then I was like, I like saw this, I was like, oh, like this is supposed to have like a second part to it, and it doesn't. So before we glaze it and change the size a third time, we're going to, I have my clay here off on the side, so I'm gonna grab some clay. I don't think I have much just kind of sitting out. Just kind of like grab maybe a bit of this. This is like, kind of like, it's a little dry. It's drier than I'd like it to be. So I think we might rework some moisture into this. Let me just kind of get like a rough size. Make sure we have enough before we take all this time to like roll it out. I'm gonna like kind of cut out some more grass. Okay. Just kind of like, that's probably like about enough. I don't know, maybe let's do some more. Okay, we'll just grab, I don't know. We'll just grab a little more. Okay, so I'm just gonna tie my back up and just like keep it on the floor. Actually, okay, I moved my sponge. I'm sorry, I'm kind of like a mess. We have not done like regular working with clay in a while. So my setup is currently a little bit more on the glazing side. Let me just like wash off my sponge because we don't want to have any residue glaze in it. I just want to make like sure that there's nothing in here. Okay, perfect. And I'll actually need to fill up my bucket with some water, just so we'll have something to use. Okay. Right, because I haven't used my water bucket in a week because this whole week we've been doing glazing. Okay. Alright, I just wanted to clean up that extra stuff. So this stuff is like pretty dry, so what I'm going to do, we're just gonna go through the wetting process or like just kind of like reintroducing water into the clay. It's not like super exciting, but I don't know. I guess it's kind of like good to see, I guess, like if you're kind of like new to doing ceramics. So I don't know. I think I'll just kind of like have some of these set up. Just gonna grab my rolling pin, and we're just gonna like smush them a bit. Sorry, this is like loud. I'm gonna put this off to the side. We just kind of want to smush them so they're a little bit easier to work with. And typically the outside of the clay is a little bit, that's kind of like where a lot of the drier portion is, although it can be still dry throughout. So this kind of like helps like move it around, mix it a little bit. Okay. Alrighty. Okay. Now I have the pieces flattened out. I'm just gonna add some water. Let me actually get my little tiny cup of water. So we're just gonna like put some water on here. And then we're just gonna kind of like smush them together. So if we do this a number of times, we should get the water kind of like fairly well mixed in there, and just kind of like I'll go back and forth between kind of like layering them like this and then rolling it out, and then it just like kind of like mixes the water into the clay. I don't know how other people do this. This is just like, I don't know, I think this is just something that I thought of. There definitely is like an extent where the clay is too dry, and it's kind of like a bit, like a little bit too much of a pain to be doing this. I mean, it just kind of is up to you, really. Like, if you, like this isn't too bad, but I have had pieces that are like super dry. And then I will like cut them up into little slices and then put water in between them and then put it back together. Stuff like that. Like, same process is what we're doing here. But to some extent, when it's just like too dry, you could just throw it into your reclaim. And that's totally fine too. I don't know, it just kind of like depends on like how dry it is. If I feel like doing that or not. Because this does take quite a bit, it does take a little bit of time to do. So obviously just throwing it into the reclaim bucket is, in some sense, like just kind of like saving you some time. Okay, so we have a nice lump there. Just kind of like fold this one maybe. Also, my wrist kind of hurts, so you kind of knows I was rolling them out a little weird, but my wrist kind of hurts. So I don't know, I'm gonna be a little weird over here. Okay, so we're just gonna like roll it out again. Let me maybe kind of like add a little bit of water here. Just because like, you guys might know that my wearboard here, this is like, it's just like a slab of wood with canvas taped to it, and then rolling the clay out onto it, it usually sucks up a little bit of that water. So if we put a little bit of water on top of it, it won't dry it out too much. If you put too much water on this though, it's gonna like slide around and be very annoying. So just so you know, let me kind of like, sorry. I mean, you don't really need to see this part like that much. I'm just rolling it out. I'm just trying to like make it work a little bit better for me because my hand is being really annoying. We really just want to like smush the clay around, and it's like just kind of moving that that wet clay around and kind of like disperses it in a way. And now we have, this side is a bit drier than what we had earlier, so I'm gonna put water on this side. I kind of just like get all over the place, and then we're just gonna kind of smush it back. So here we go. So now we have a couple layers there. Switch this one out. I don't really know how other people do this. Let me know in the comments if you work with clay and you integrate your water differently. I don't know. I don't think, like, this kind of, like, I haven't really seen much slab building, like, on YouTube or anything. I have checked, like, Skillshare, too. That was a little while ago. But there's, like, kind of not a lot of slab building on the internet to see how, like, other people do stuff. Especially not something like this that's kind of, like, boring. I mean, this definitely is, like, I don't think it really matters, like, how you're integrating the water back in it. It's kind of just, like, whatever works for you is fine. But I don't know, I think I'm just kind of, like, curious how other people work. Okay. So we have kind of, like, a good, I'll just, like, put a little water in between these two. And I think these will be good to wedge. My poor wrist is going to be like, why would you do this to me? I don't know, like, why my wrist hurts. Because I have not been, like, especially if it's when I'm wedging. But I have not been doing any clay stuff for, like, the past week because we were doing all that glazing. So I don't know why my wrist hurts. I don't know if that's just, like, you're getting old or something. So I don't know. I'm just kind of like, I don't know if this really does anything. But I kind of just want to, like, get it into, like, a, I don't know, kind of, like, make it more compact, I guess. Okay. So I'm gonna try to get so you guys can see, but I kind of need to, like, optimize this for myself, especially because my hand hurts. I'm just doing a spiral wedge right now. And we just want to get the air bubbles out. I think maybe it's really grabbing the moisture out of the clay right now, so I'm gonna add a little water. So we, for the most part, we're doing this because we want to get air bubbles out of the clay. This is also going to fully mix the two, like, the two, like, globs of clay that we had. It's gonna fully mix them and integrate them together. And this kind of, like, compresses the clay particles as well. Compression is really important when you're working with clay, because whenever your clay is not compressed enough, it will crack. So it just kind of, like, helps it out right now, but then if you take your wedge and you're putting it on the wheel, or if you are rolling out a slab, you're gonna do, like, more compression later. Okay. This is kind of like, I'm not always, like, 100% sure when it is done being wedged. I kind of go based off of, like, how big it is for, like, how long I wedge it for. You can kind of, like, see, like, anywhere over here if there are any air bubbles that are popping. So if they're continuing to pop, you definitely want to keep wedging, and then until you kind of like, after a little while, after you stop seeing them pop, you just want to go a little bit longer. This is like kind of a workout. That's not really, that one's like being weird, but that's not really what I was talking about. I don't think I've seen. There are a few other ways that you can wedge. I think there are 2 other ways. But this is like the one that I use the most. I don't like that it is cracking right there. Not really sure about that. So now I just kind of want to like, roll it into, like, kind of like get rid of these creases and stuff, and just make them kind of just like fade in there. I think ideally I kind of want to get like, I don't know, maybe like a cylinder or a sphere going. You just kind of want something that's like fairly like consistent. Like it's not too like thick and wobbly on one side than the other. I think ideally. Okay. I'm like so hot. I'm gonna take my sweatshirt off real quick. This has like been such a workout. Also, I'm like so tired. I'm ready for like a second coffee for the day. Okay. I'm sorry. I've just been like so unprepared today. Thank you for your patience. Okay, so this is definitely like quite a bit of clay. I wonder if we can like cut maybe 2 shapes out of this, maybe. Oh, you know what? Okay, so what I've seen since making some of my other videos, I saw like other potters. So actually disregard the like nice shape that we have here. I just remembered I saw some other potters, the way that they roll out like their clay is they kind of like smush it a bit. Hopefully I'm not doing this like too wrong. This is just like from a video that I saw. He really didn't have any explanation. It was just this guy working. Okay, so he kind of like smushed it like this, and then rolled it out. And then we shouldn't get too much of a weird edge like we normally do. Let me grab some of these. I think 3 is probably too much, but let's kind of start off with 3 of these stir sticks and kind of like, I don't know, see what we have. I guess we'll just keep going this way. Yeah, this is like way too much clay. Yeah, I think maybe we could do like a little ring dish too. All right, so you want to make sure you flip it, but also rotate it. Also, like, sorry, I already said also. Okay. Let me see. It is quite thick, but I think I just want to make sure that it is thick enough, because looking at this pot, what you could do is just like make it as thin as this portion and then add these three separately. I don't know if I feel like doing that. I don't know. I just kind of like don't like adding. I kind of prefer to subtract. So I think we're gonna have this slab like how it is like this tall and then cut into it. I don't know. That's just kind of like how I like to do things. In this kind of way, I don't think it matters too much. And then on the bottom, we have like a little foot here. I think that's just so that it doesn't slump down, because I think this dish is maybe a little bit too small for that, but typically when you get to a certain size plate, the middle, when it's fired, will slump down. I think, well, I guess like, I don't know like a ton about that kind of aspect about clay, but I think what's happening is like the smaller plate that you have, the smaller it's gonna slump down when it's being fired. But then like the larger you have of a plate, the more it's going to slump in the middle. I think that's kind of I think that's what's happening, because generally with smaller bases, you don't need to put something in the center. Like this little cup that I have here, I didn't make this. This is store-bought, but you can see that the bottom of this does not have anything in the center holding it up. And that's because it is, I think, too small to need that. So just a little tip for you guys. Anyway, I think we're gonna keep it like this size. It's been such a long time since I made a planter. The last time I would have made one would have been like at least 4 years ago. So we have quite a big chunk here. This is not exactly necessary, but I just kind of want to be on the safe side. So there's definitely like an aspect of like you can do whatever you want to do kind of a thing going on with like how thick this is. You know, I just kind of prefer to make it a little bit thicker so that I have enough, and then I can trim off anything I don't need. I know people in the comments are gonna be like, oh my gosh, like you don't even need that much. Okay, before I forget, just like I'm all over the place. Okay, before I forget, okay, so we have to compress our clay. So this is what I mentioned when we were wedging the clay. So we were compressing it while we were wedging, and now we are compressing it again. This is the way that it is compressed when you're slab building. And then when you're wheel throwing, it's generally like when you build the walls out, then you put your fingers in and then move towards the middle, and then that's compressing it while you're wheel throwing. So we just kind of want to do this in a couple different directions, because we want to, again, compress the clay like and bring it closer to itself, because the clay particles can be, although this looks like, you know, it's kind of like a pretty solid mass that we have, the clay particles can be kind of, they can be like jostled around and kind of moved around into different ways, like while you're sort of working with it. And we kind of just want them to be, like if you, I don't know, I think like maybe example is like if you tear clay, then they're kind of like not together. Kind of like if you tore like bubble gum, like it's just kind of like like it's like kind of hanging on by a thread, you know, and there's a lot more kind of like air in there. I don't know if that's really a very good idea of what's happening, but I don't know, that's all I can think of like right now. um so we just kind of want to make sure that they're all kind of like in the position that we want it to be. Obviously this is kind of like particle sized, and we can't visually see if the clay is compressed. We just know it is if we do this step. I don't know how much you're supposed to do this. I've literally have not seen any YouTube videos that like really explain this part. I just kind of did it a couple times. Definitely getting any of those cracks from the middle out. The cracks on the side, that's just, as far as I know, that's just what it's gonna do. And you just want to like, you don't want to use that kind of like maybe like 1/2 inch or so from the edge, just because it's not as compressed. It's cracking and it's like super wonky. It's not even the same height like here as it is here. So we're just gonna like avoid that. I think we could get kind of like a like maybe like 3 things out of this. Okay, so I kind of want to do maybe like around here or so. Nah, I don't know if we can really fit anything in this weird curvy portion. Let me see. I think I'm just gonna kind of like lightly mark out where the actual pot is, and then, like I said at the beginning, this is gonna get smaller. The wet clay that we have is gonna get smaller, so what we want to do is make this a little bit larger than that one. This is always like such a tricky thing to do. I think most people just, they work with the same clay and they know that clay, and they just kind of have like that, like a very good idea of like what is gonna happen with it. I kind of like have no idea how much this is going to like decrease. There is like a general like rule of thumb that people say, like porcelain is like the maximum. Porcelain is what is going to shrink the most out of any type of clay. I don't know if that's like, I don't know if there is a thing between like true porcelain, like cone 10 porcelain, or, because I have cone 6 and I mean it says it's porcelain, but I guess I don't know if there's a real or a fake kind of porcelain. But porcelain is supposed to shrink 10%. Like it's going to get 10% smaller, but like I don't know what that looks like. I don't know, like I don't know how to like visualize like it being like a percentage smaller, maybe 50%, but I don't know. we're just kind of taking a shot in the dark here. This that I have here is cone 6 porcelain. So I guess it's supposed to shrink more than my other clay, my stoneware. We're just gonna, I don't know. We're just gonna have to go with it. And sometimes all you can do is guess. Same with things like if you're making a lamp, you have to like get it to be the perfect size for that fixture for the light bulb, and it's just kind of a guess sometimes. Sometimes there's just no easy way to know that kind of stuff. And it is what it is. I don't really care for, I don't know. I have seen like paint palettes like this kind of moon shape, but they're usually going around like the water cup will come with it too, and the water cup is like perfectly fit to it, but I don't really care about this like shape. Yeah, I think we're just gonna smush it back up. I really I really like to kind of like save things if I can, but I don't know. We're just gonna put it back together and put it into a ball to use later. It's just that like I already spent all this time like rolling it out, so if I could cut something out of it, that'd be awesome, but I don't know. If we did make a little like kind of like ring dish thing, it would be like very small. So I'm just gonna do what we did at the beginning, and I've wet it with water, so we're just gonna like fold it onto itself and stuff. Rolling it out has really dried it quite a little bit. Not like a lot, but you know. So I'm just gonna do this and just add some water, and you're gonna put that piece on here. I'm like really bad at determining like how much clay I need. I definitely don't want to like go through all of this stuff like wedging it and rolling it out, and then I don't have enough. I definitely don't like that. That has definitely happened a few times. But we're getting to a point where I'm grabbing way too much. Okay, I don't know. I'm just gonna set that off to the side for now. I'm just gonna look at this thing. I'm just going to, we didn't really cut it at a 90-degree angle, so I'm just gonna kind of like fix up some of this a little bit. I think it was mostly that side that was bothering me. Oh, we did this, but actually it kind of like curves in a little bit. Okay, so I guess that's like I don't know. I guess what we did earlier didn't really exactly make sense. I'm just gonna see it. Okay. I'm just gonna like draw this out again. think we can make this a little bit smaller. I'm not really sure like how small we should make it. I'd really hate to make this like, well, definitely too small, or I mean I wouldn't like it if it was like too big either. Okay. I'm gonna add some water to this and then slap it on this ball of clay that we have. Okay. I think this is okay. I don't know if we really need to, but I kind of want to just like smooth this out a little bit because I don't know. Like I'm just like kind of like procrastinating. Okay. I have not done this before, as you can tell. Hopefully it's not too much of a train wreck. We definitely want like it to sit, so then there's gonna be like a wall on this side that we're gonna have to keep, and then the rest of this we're gonna kind of like carve down into it. How about I'm like, I don't know, there's something about kind of like carving like the feet of things that I always forget to kind of like mark out the places I should not be cutting out. So let's just kind of do that. I'm just thinking, okay, so I think like maybe normally what I would do is like just do a circle, but actually what is happening is, so you're getting the water dropping down and then you want it to be able to move into these other locations. Whereas if we had a circle here, it wouldn't be able to go out unless you had like a little hole cut for it, if that makes sense. So that's the reason why they did that. So I don't know, I guess we can kind of do little triangles. I suppose the shape wouldn't matter like that much as long as it has room to move around, to like go and kind of like use this whole area in case you added too much water, like it has somewhere to go if that happened. I'm really just kind of like drawing out some very rough shapes. Let me just kind of see. This one needs to be moved over like this. This looks oh no. These other lines are very distracting. Okay. I don't know, I feel like I should have used something as like some kind of template. And then we definitely want to keep like some portion of this, actually. I don't know why I tried to cover that up. This looks so stupid. Okay, so normally you want to carve out when it is a little bit more like leather hard, but I don't, this is such a train wreck. I don't want to like carve the wrong spots. So, where's that cup I always use? I'll grab this. There's a cup that I always that I always throw my stuff in. Actually, there's like some dirt in. Okay. So I think I'm just gonna kind of like carve out some of this, just a little bit. And hopefully it's like not too far off. But I just kind of want to like get the shape in here so that we know what the shape looks like. And I'm not confused when I come back to this later. I'm just gonna do like a bit of this. This is also good because if we trim some of this out, it's not gonna be quite as like long for it to dry, for this little slab to dry out if we cut some of this clay off. Okay, so it's gonna be kind of like that. So yeah, we're just gonna do like a little rough version of what it's going to look like. Obviously, this looks really bad. do, 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 do. Oh, I just like randomly remembered. I wanted to let you guys know about Adobe Max. I just want to throw it out there just for like anybody to hear about. I know you might be like, ceramics, that is traditional. Why would you even need an Adobe program for the computer when you are working with your hands? And that is because sometimes when you have a small business, you need stuff like that. So I'm just gonna like do like just a little bit for you guys to hear about. This is not any kind of paid promotion or anything. It's just me telling you one artist to another, you should go check it out. So if you don't know what Adobe is in the first place, they have all kinds of apps for different creative processes. You are probably most familiar with hearing about Photoshop. That is for editing photos. You may have for me as a graphic designer for work, I use Photoshop, Illustrator, InDesign. I use those the most out of the Adobe programs. Illustrator can be quite a variety of things, lots of things for vector work. You can do stuff with kind of like documents in there too, although InDesign is a little bit more for documents. Sometimes they do kind of like overlap in certain areas. Or there's also other things like Lightroom. Lightroom is kind of for, it's a little bit more tailored to I believe like a photographer that has like quite a few photos taken. So like maybe if you were a portrait photographer, so you have all of these, you have a bunch of photos of this person, and then you saved like your edits. You can copy those edits, make it a preset, and apply it to the other photos that you took at that shoot, and then you can send all of those to the client, be like, which one do you like or whatever, and you don't have to do that manually. I'm not like a photographer or anything, but I find that Lightroom is easier for those type of photo edits, where Photoshop, you can do other things in it. You can do like digital painting in it. You can do photo edits, but I think Lightroom is more geared to specifically like someone that is like a photographer in that way. Where Photoshop, you can do like more creative type work than that. There's like all that stuff like I mean, there are a lot of apps. So Adobe Max is obviously by Adobe, and it's a creativity based conference that they have. They do have an in-person one that they've already done it, but they have like these recorded sessions that they put on their website for free for anybody to watch. So there are different types of sessions happening. You can see the ones where they are showing you the new, like maybe it's a new tool that they added to one of the apps, or like some kind of like new feature, or like, I don't know, maybe they like changed some stuff and added some cool, different things to like edit whatever you're editing, and they'll show those off in different sessions. Other sessions, you can learn how to use the apps from professional artists that use them. Some of them are like famous artists too. Some famous artists will like show you like kind of like their process and how they use the app in their work. Or there was a feature that showed like, I think it was like 4 different artists. They use different apps in their workflow because they work differently and they're different types of artists. And they really showcased a little bit of like their story. Like, I was really excited to see Aaron Draplin there. He's always on Adobe Max. He's a graphic designer. He's very famous for teaching graphic design to people in different like online classes and stuff. And he just kind of like talked about like how he started as a graphic designer before computers, which was like, it's really weird to think about. And then how he has embrace the computers, and he just kind of talks about his whole journey from kind of like his beginnings with graphic design, and then how he first got his like first jobs in it, and he freelances and makes logos and branding and all kinds of stuff for businesses. He actually did some things for Obama, all kinds of stuff, and other government things too. And he just kind of like talked about like his story, and they're just kind of like parts of it to like inspire people. So again, we're getting back to what this has to do with clay. And I'm going to tell you that as a business owner, I have to photograph my pieces and put them on my website, and like, there is like, I don't think there's ever a case where you take a photo and it just looks good. Like, I don't think that ever happens, even with photographers that know what they're doing. They still have to edit their photos, and they still have to go in and change just like make edits to it. Maybe change the cropping, or maybe like rotate it slightly if it was like a little like off kilter, changing the brightness, saturation, maybe like playing with the colors, all of that stuff. That is like, I am not really a photographer. That is not the kind of art that I'm passionate about. It just is a little bit of a struggle for me. So, but it's just something I have to do. It's just something that is part of my workflow as a small business owner. And like, it's a little bit like, it's a little bit harder for me to like fully understand the struggles of someone that might be a traditional artist that has never used something like Photoshop or Lightroom. But and I mean, there are different things out there for you to use, but I just kind of like want to show, like, throw it out there for you guys, just so you know, like, these sessions and tutorials and all of these things on Adobe Max, they are free. Like, you do have to like create an account to watch them, I think, or at least to like save videos to like your profile so you watch them later or whatever. But like, I just want you guys to know, like, this is free. Like, you should check it out. Luckily, like, I am a graphic designer, so I have access to all of Creative Cloud through work, through my day job. But I'm also able to use it for like my business, and I just like, I'm able to like edit my photos and do video editing, and of course, like the other parts of my branding where I might have to make a logo, I have to make banners for my website, making announcements. Some of the Instagram posts that I have are made in Illustrator, if they're kind of like text-based and not just like a photo, or it could be like, you know, a combination of a photo and text, stuff like that. Like, I mean, there are like there are like a lot of different ways like a small business could utilize the Creative Cloud and the variety of different apps in there. These are the things that I use. I just want you guys to know that this is like a free thing. And it is like so cool. I love doing art stuff, and like watching the stuff on there makes me so inspired to like keep doing what I'm doing, and like makes me really inspired to like learn more about the apps that they have, and like check out the new features that they have, all kinds of stuff. I'm sure you can just like Google what types of apps work for what you do, whether that's like video editing, maybe digital painting, 3D design, like 3D modeling, all kinds of stuff. I don't know. There are a lot of apps. Sometimes some of them are larger and more well-known than others, but there are quite a few out there for different things. Sometimes they do overlap. Like I said about like Photoshop and Lightroom, they kind of overlap at points. So do Illustrator and InDesign. But yeah, you can, I don't know. I'm sure you can find another YouTube video that kind of explains the differences between all of the apps and stuff. But I just want you guys to know that it happened last week, and that's when the recordings went up online. They are online for a long time. But I would just like encourage you to go check it out now, just to like, so you don't forget. But of course, you can just take your time with the sessions and watch them over time. I don't know if they stay online for an entire year or more, but it is a long time that they stay on there. So yeah, so definitely go check them out. And I I don't know, just like, I don't know. I just wanted to like throw that out there for you guys because like I don't know. I just get really excited about like events and like new things happening, and some of the features are really cool. There are definitely things in Photoshop that I am curious about for my business, such as um, they have like an integrated beta version for like AI in it. So like I think what you can do is like, okay, so say you have so say like this is a thing that you were going to put on for sale. You have your little planter and stuff, but you don't like the background of the photo. The picture of the planter is awesome, but you don't like the background that you used. And I'm pretty sure you can like select this and delete the background and then tell the AI what you want for to be in the background. It's kind of like a beta version, so sometimes you might have to play with the type of prompts that you put in, but it will spit out a couple different options for you based off of that kind of input that you said. Like, I don't know, maybe you said I don't know, like put it on a windowsill. Like have the background be like a windowsill or something. Something like that. And it should give you a couple different options to choose from. And it should it should be able to read the lighting that you have on your photo, and then kind of implement that into what it feeds you for those background options that I gave you. And that is just like, what? Like, I just want to throw it out there for you guys because I'm sure there are a lot of ceramic artists that are very traditional and don't really work on the computer as much as I do. So I just want to throw this out there for you guys. This is not any kind of like paid promotion. You know, I barely have any followers. This is not paid whatsoever. Like, you can go look at the numbers, like, but I just want to throw it out there for you guys because they have seriously like crazy technology, and I don't know. I don't know if I would be able to like show you like demos or anything. I'm not really good at like that kind of screen capture type stuff. I don't know. I'll think about it, but I just wanted to throw it out there for you guys just to like it's good to know about things, and then you can go and Google it and do more research. But if you don't even know it exists, you have like you don't have anywhere to start. So I just want to throw that out there for you guys real quick. Anyway, I really have to go. My alarm went off already, so I have to pack up and go back to work. But yeah, this is gonna have to sit and dry for a bit, and then we will continue carving it. It looks really weird right now. But yeah, so thank you so much for being here and watching. I really appreciate all the support I get from you guys on Twitch, and then anybody on YouTube. So of course, be sure to follow along on Twitch, know when I come online to do live streams. We are scheduled for Monday through Friday, 1 to 2 p.m. Pacific time, and then all of the videos will be uploaded to YouTube at Callie & Co. And you'll be able to see on there like our stream archive playlist with all of the other videos that we've made so far. There's like 41. I think this video right now is 42. So there's quite a few videos on there, and that's only the stream archive. There are other videos on there that are about like I have some others that are dedicated to ceramics, like how-tos. We also have other things like book tours, how to ship stuff for a small business, kind of like small business or other general art related stuff. So be sure to check out YouTube and be sure to subscribe so you know when I post new videos. And I think that's it. Thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate it. And I will see you guys tomorrow. Bye.